All right. Hello and welcome back to the Refined Podcast. I am your host, Sydney,
And I'm Jason, your second host. Hello, hello.
and we're excited about today's podcast.
Yeah, number 3 coming at you live. We're
Yes.
really trying to hone in and get this thing scheduled. Try to do it, weekly and everything, but, it's a process. It's coming along, though. We're back.
And we're here, and today we have a fun topic. But first, tell me a little something. What's going on?
Oh, man.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, I feel like I'm kind of going through a season of change in a good way of change, but yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces right now in life for the good. So yeah, not too many I really want to touch on just yet, but things that I will,
In the works.
yeah, wouldn't mind explaining down the road, being more open about it. But yeah, just a lot of things that are changing right now for the good though, and I'm very excited to see what's to come. So,
Yeah.
how about you? What you got for me?
It is officially November, and it means it's officially Christmas.
Yeah, pretty sure I saw Santa last night
Yep.
in the living room.
Yes, I had him help me. You're a trooper. I mean, you had fun, right? We set up
Yeah,
the
a
Christmas tree
ton of
first
fun.
week of November, and I would have done it even a couple days ago, but we have been down bad with some kind of flu, or I don't even know what we had, but we've been sick.
Yeah, there was like a huge stomach bug or something going around, but
And we
yeah,
got it.
we were down bad. But yeah, last night put together the tree. She was on a roll yesterday, man. She had Christmas music playing. Walk in, there's like a Christmas fire tree. I don't even know, but like something on the
Fireplace, yep.
fireplace on the TV screen. 12-hour thing on YouTube.
I also used to do that. It's just like calming. It's calming
Yeah.
having the fireplace on YouTube. I just put that on my TV screen.
Absolutely. No, it was a vibe. It feels like it's December 21st, but it's really November 5th, so.
Well, that means we have more time for Christmas.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
I listened to
100%.
Christmas music during my workout this morning. You think I'm a psychopath?
Yeah, yeah, Christmas music during the workout. I don't know.
I had a good workout, so.
Love that.
But today, I think that we're going to talk about all things social media. This is a topic that I think we both have a lot that we can talk on for this. We have two somewhat different perspectives on social media, but also, I mean, you've seen my side of it, and also you have kind of a change of views on social media, I guess, because you've been doing more with it.
Yeah, I think there's a positive and a negative side to it, and my thought on social media has shifted, within the last year. So, yeah, I'm excited to, talk about this. And I think, just like you said, we have a lot to talk about with it.
Yeah.
So let's dive into it.
Yeah, let's do it. So to start off, let's both go over like kind of how we use social media and like how that has kind of evolved over time and like how it's changed, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'll start and so you know what I mean by that, because I kind of put you on the spot there. But so I started social media like a very small fitness page. I didn't do a ton with social media during college, just kind of like my personal social media and pictures and whatnot. And then I started a fitness Instagram just for my in-person personal training clients. And that was like the extent of it pretty much throughout college. And then when COVID hit, I started doing online coaching with all of my personal training clients. So I started sharing a lot more on social media just to kind of like bring on more clients. And then that's where I started gaining a social media following and started posting more and kind of changing the way I've posted. Obviously now I do a lot of like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube,
Right.
all of that. But really like in the last couple of years, it's changed completely.
Yeah. Did you, so I know we've kind of talked about this before, but so when COVID hit, you started posting more. was it kind of like, did you see, was it kind of rapid, the following? It just started like happening like insanely, or was it very slow and you just you kind of told yourself, I'm going to stay, persistent at this, I'm going to keep
Yeah.
it up, and or was it kind of like rapid, so then you were
Very
motivated?
slow.
Was
Very
it?
slow. And what's crazy is that I was like one of the last. So TikTok is kind of where I started my social media following.
Right.
And then like the rest kind of just followed suit. But I had no intentions. I didn't even know that you could like make a career. No one knew that you could make a career out of TikTok when I
Right.
started it. I just thought it was cool. I thought it was cool that I started gaining followers. And I remember like it took a long time to even reach 10,000 followers. And
Yeah.
I was so excited because you could finally be like a creator once you hit 10,000 followers.
Yeah, and it's like you have that 10.0
You right,
K.
right,
It's the K.
exactly. You're big time then, yeah.
Big time when you got the K there.
Yeah.
10K.
So I mean, it was pretty slow and steady, but it was. I always say like what's cool about it is that I had no desire. I wasn't trying. I wasn't doing a ton to try and grow it at first.
Right.
It just was like I was posting things I like, and matter of fact, I started by posting Amazon finds. Are you surprised at all whatsoever?
Not at
Like
all.
I just liked doing my Amazon hauls and stuff with no intentions of making money off of it. I just had a lot more free time because I was no longer working in person and
Right.
stuff, and didn't have school in person. And then I started posting more about like fitness and whatnot. So long story short, slow and steady.
Yeah, slow and steady.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So with you, social media, how'd that change?
Yeah, so for me, I think, so surprisingly, I used to post a ton in college. I mean, college football player, blah, blah, blah. I always had, cool pictures to post. So, post a little flick, throw the little baby lyric caption on there. I mean, good to go. Get a quick 300 likes real quick.
There you go.
No, but I posted a lot in college, and then I want to say like my senior year, I just kind of like I had this huge like just like kind of screw social media type thing.
Okay.
Like always gotten to the point where like I always told myself I could delete social media and not miss it. So I think, from college I just kind of, I stayed on it just for the fact of, keeping up. It's almost like the news channel in a way. You hear a lot about things happening all over the world through social media. So I've always kept social media because of that reason. But now it's more of, I'm kind of seeing the other side to it. Mm-hmm. So the other side to it, as from you basically. So just seeing, it's more of I see the positive impact that you can have with social media to others. And that's the biggest thing about it that, I like the most, I guess you could say. So I don't know. That's kind of like my thing with social media. I still don't use it as much as I think I should as far as posting and everything. But I mean, I'm getting better at it.
Yeah, and you actually, which I'm super excited for you that you got your first brand deal, which was cool. So he's too humble to say it, but I'm excited for him.
I wasn't gonna mention it, but
I'm
shout
excited.
out Flag and Anthem.
Yeah.
They're kind of I don't want to say newer company, but kind of how that worked is they reached out and. You always get these like really tiny, I don't even know if sometimes it's like scam or whatever, but I like went on their page and they had really reputable, people that they work with, as far as Christian McCaffrey, Dierks Bentley. There's a ton of people, but I responded and we set something up, and when I tell you the material that they have, like it's real. It's like real stuff. Yeah. It's so nice. And it doesn't, you don't think it's going to wear down after 4 wears of it or rip doing this. So it's really cool stuff. If anybody is interested, like wants to check it out, there's a link in my bio if you guys follow me, and there's also a code there. So, let me know.
That's exciting. It's the really cool part about doing social media is that you get to find a lot of brands and connect with a lot of brands, and even work with brands that you already have been using. So It's that's definitely a perk of doing work on social media.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm excited for you. So talk a little bit more on like the negative, maybe we should talk about the negative sides of social media and kind of like where we have had a little bit of, I don't know, struggle with social media in the past, maybe.
Yeah. I think the first thing I think of with, when you say negative side of social media is comparison.
Yeah.
I think our generation and just, everybody, I think everyone, whether you acknowledge it or not, you compare to yourself to others on social media. It's so easy to do.
It is.
So, and then, you compare yourself to somebody, then you start having negative thoughts about yourself. And then now you're in this hole that you're just like so down about yourself, and now your entire day is ruined.
Oh, absolutely.
And I just think, being more mindful of not comparing to others, because social media, you can put basically everyone, they put the positives of their life on there.
Highlight reel, yeah.
Yeah, nobody's going to get on there and say, "Oh, I just lost my job. I'm down bad, late on bills. This negative thing is happening in my life." Like, nobody's going to do that. So
right.
I think to be mindful of what you're seeing on social media and just realize these are real humans.
Yeah.
90% of people are probably going through, just as much, if not half of what you're going through. So that's kind of my thing. When you say negative side of social media, what about you?
Yeah, definitely that. And we can talk a little bit more about that because before you and I have talked about social media, I didn't even really know if guys compared the way girls do.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of human nature, I think, to compare to, even if it's not on social media, like what someone else shows. Like, you never know what's going on behind the scenes
Right.
for someone else. So someone can look like they have it all, and that can be on social media or in person. But I think even from high school, like we are a generation that grew up with social media. So I've had social media since I was in 5th grade, which is, I mean, you're a baby. It shouldn't even be allowed. I mean, future children should not have social media in 5th grade because you're just a baby. But I did have it. And I think that you grow up with a misconception of what body image should look like or what your body should look like. And that was the biggest struggle for me, and I think for a lot of other girls, is that you're seeing a lot of face-tuned or what is it called? Photoshopped images,
Yep.
and you're comparing what your body looks like, and that goes back to comparison, is that you're just never going to be satisfied with yourself. But it's addicting. Social media is addicting. So then you're on it all the time,
Yep.
but then you have this negative feeling about yourself and whether it's what other people have or what other people look like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think some people, they try to, there's a lot of people that have these pages, and they post like, the Instagram versus reality.
Yeah.
Actually, just driving. I'm coming back from, wasn't, on my phone and driving, but I was at a stoplight. And I was on Facebook, and I'm scrolling, and absolutely, it's one of those side by side pictures.
Yeah.
Instagram versus reality. And I applaud those people that do that, but I also do think I think the negative picture is them like actually they're pushing their stomach out.
Or trying to
look, I don't want to say horrible, but as normal as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I do applaud that side of people because I think it does help, individuals that do judge, and it's like, okay, all these pictures that I'm seeing with, the photoshopped or the editing and filters, like that's not real. There are some people that, are posting the positive side of it, showing what's real.
Right. And I just know, even like for myself, when I have a really stressful day or a hard day, even if I'm not trying to, I just post way less because my mind is elsewhere. Right. And so you see when I'm on my game and when I'm, ready to post. But we were just sick all week and I hardly posted anything because I was on the struggle bus. So you just don't see everything, and you can't expect to, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I got a question for you. Do you think, like, what, do you have anything up and coming or like in the works or thoughts of anything that's next with social media?
I mean, definitely want to grow the podcast. I think that that's something that I've wanted
Yeah.
to do for quite some time, which obviously here we are. So that's
Right.
definitely one of the things that we wanted to do. It's hard because I find my like comfort zone in social media. Like I love doing my vlogs and I love doing, like I have a lot of my TikToks are the same over and over again. They're very
Right.
similar to each other, and that's what I really like doing. I'm not really sure what's next. I really don't know. I think just growing the platforms I already have and maybe bring more, like now that I'm released to work out more, I maybe bring more fitness into it.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
think
Is
that's a
that what you
great
meant
idea.
by that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, just wondering if, you've been brainstorming or, you've had anything that you really think that you want to do here in the near future.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
I feel like I have my creativity back. Like I had a block in there for a
Mm-hmm.
couple months where I just didn't feel like, and you heard it. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to vlog today or if I'm not. I don't know if I really want to. And I kind of like just recently feel like I'm getting that spark back
Right.
where I get excited to create and I get excited to, I really, really like TikToks. Those are my favorite to
Yeah.
create. But yeah, what about you? What are you thinking?
Um, Nothing really. I'm just kind of going with the flow. This social media stuff is new to me. But no, obviously, open to anything and all things. I think it's really cool the outlook I have on social media now.
Yeah.
Um, it's a way to be creative. And I think that's the biggest thing is everyone has this side of, being creative to them. So I think a lot of people, they just get shy and they don't want to express that and show it to the world. But, these platforms, you have no clue how big they can get and how many people you can inspire, my
Yeah.
bad. But yeah, I think, just express, that creativity throughout your platforms, like who cares? Like I think
Yeah.
people think too much that, oh, it's not going to get the likes it wants or people aren't going to like it or, just things like that.
Oh my gosh, I so agree. So I remember when I first started posting, I remember having like this embarrassment of like, oh no, people I actually know in real life are gonna see this. Like
Yeah,
I remember feeling like that. And if I could just go back and say, look at where it went
right.
because it's crazy. I mean, I still have almost like an imposter syndrome sometimes come over me that I just can't even believe how much my social media has grown. But you're so right. Like people that are afraid, but they have like this desire to start a social media. And I even say this to you. I'm like, you have nothing to lose. Like
Right.
it might be it might be about sports or it might be about just like funny stuff, but like you have nothing to lose
Yeah,
posting stuff. If it's something that you want to do, I understand that like social media is not for everyone, but
absolutely. I've got I've actually never really talked about this before, but the day ones know I had a fitness a fitness page. I don't know why I'm laughing, but it was called J King Fit. And man, I was taking it serious for some time. It was
Aw.
almost like it held me accountable and I was just kind of having fun with it. I
Yeah.
would record my workouts, I'd put them up there. I had about 500, 600 followers. Like,
Yeah.
things were going, but
I love
then
it.
actually COVID hit. COVID hit, and I was still working out and everything, but I don't know. It just slowly died down, and I ended up
Hmm.
just deleting it. But it was like, I mean, I found joy in it, and it was something that was fun to me. And, I was able to, I'm not a certified, personal trainer. I don't have my certification, but I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. And it was like fun
Yeah.
to just, like, I'd get DMs and just help people, give my, 2 cents, like
Yeah.
people that are searching for to get started or just anything. But, I've kind of had thoughts of, possibly starting that again. Just,
Yeah.
because it
Absolutely.
added so much fun to my workouts. And that's what I'm like when I say, show the creative side of you and just post that side of things, that's what I'm saying. So
yeah,
I think, with doing this podcast and saying it, it's only right that I bring back
there you go. Bring
the
back the J
fitness
Fit. What
page.
is it? What is it?
J King Fit.
J King Fit. Bring it back.
It was jking.fit.
All right,
Yeah.
y'all be looking out for it.
Good times, good times.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you though. Like, I think that you did that without any desire to do it for a living necessarily.
Yeah,
you know what I
no.
mean? Like, it would be great to do it for a living, but I think that's when, if you would have continued doing it during COVID, was when a lot of social media platforms grew. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I'm not saying that, but if you were gonna do it for free and you enjoyed doing it, that's typically when it's gonna grow because you're so passionate about it.
Right. And then, yeah, I mean, who knows what it could have been at this point. 2 years later, I mean, could have been up there, shoot, 50K?
Could have been. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, and maybe.
But yeah, maybe,
yeah, bring it back.
Might bring it back. Because then, I mean, I'll really have to get in shape. Gorilla emoji,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so out of shape.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways. But yeah, as far as social media, I think it's a great thing. Show the creative side of you, and I mean, we have more to talk about. What you got?
Yeah, no. Okay, so back on, I think that there are more things on that we could talk about that are a little bit on the negative side, and not even necessarily like that big of a deal, but I do think that if you are a social media platform, there are a lot of trolls out there, and there are a lot of really mean people.
Have thick skin.
You do. You have to. You have to have thick skin, and I didn't for so long. I'm like the most sensitive human in the actual world, like really am. And so I remember so many times, and I actually see this with like almost every creator. They eventually come to a point and they're like, why am I doing this? I just want to delete my social media. And once I finally like changed my mentality on this, I have not had that feeling at all. Like, it has not made me want to delete my social media at all, but I had to eventually almost separate who I am on social media from like my true identity. And I know that seems like way deeper than what it should be, but these people who don't know me at all whatsoever, I was letting them impact how I felt about myself off of social media.
Yep.
And it's so different. I mean, like you said, like, you're only seeing what I want you to see. Like, you don't know me. You didn't grow up with me. You aren't with me behind the scenes. And I think that like almost everyone is afraid of this when they're starting a social media. And then also, like, if you've already started a social media, it's not easy seeing the things that people talk about or comment on your post. Like Reddit forums, or even like you see some comments and I'm just like, I block and delete like it's nobody's business, but I used to let it hurt me.
No, yeah, like I said, you gotta have tough skin. Yeah, I see it all. I don't see it all, but like I see some of the comments and stuff, and I've snapped back at a few. I just like, it's so dumb to me. Like, there's no way you would not come up to her and say this in person.
Right.
Or like, why did you just waste the energy, whether it be 5-10 seconds that it took you to write the comment, but why? Like, you're so, no, that person's irrelevant.
Oh, yeah.
They don't matter. So it's just kind of like, I mean, when it comes down to that and those negative people, and I just know that they wouldn't say it in person and they're hiding behind their phone.
Yeah.
Writing these negative things and negative comments just to make themselves feel better because they're really that miserable. So,
well, and I had to even start saying that to myself. It's like, and I even remember this back in like high school and college. Like, remember when subtweeting was a thing and your friends would subtweet you or whatever, and girls are so petty. But I remember saying to my mom, I'm like, oh my gosh, my feelings are so hurt. And she's like, they must have been in such a dark place and they must have had such a bad day that they needed to do that. And that's their problem. And I've heard a quote, I don't know who said it, but what other people think about you is none of your business. Like, it's none of my business what you think of me. Think what you want.
Exactly.
I'm a heck of a lot cooler than you think I am.
Exactly. No, I'm right there with you. I agree 100%. They're just, they want their reaction from you.
For sure.
They want, you to snap back at them and, start an argument, say mean things back, and that's what they're doing it for. So ignoring, blocking, deleting, all
Yeah.
of that, it's doing a lot more than replying and entertaining
Absolutely.
them would.
But I will say, like, that's pretty much my extent of negatives when it comes to social media. I mean, it's addicting, so it's easy to get scrolling and stuff. So that might be, one of the things that it's kind of a distraction. But for the most part, like, I love social media. I think that I would do a lot of what I do, and you probably would too. Like, well, I mean, you just started doing more of it, but you know what I mean? Like, even
Right,
and you're on my social media a ton, that it's almost like a hobby. So even if it wasn't like a job, I think I would still do very similar to what I do right now.
Exactly. Yeah, and just to I just had something pop up in my mind, but the comparison thing again. I think social media, it brings out a lot of underlying depression with certain people. They feel like they're not where they're supposed to be because everyone is trying to run the same, race.
Yeah.
When everyone's lane is a lot different.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think, me being I just turned 26, for myself, would love to be, a multi-millionaire. Um, but I think, if I was to compare myself to these other people that, just overnight got stupid rich or they came from money or something, like I could absolutely beat myself up about that. Like, why am I not there yet? But you have to understand that, everyone's got their own race. Continue to do what you can do to, better yourself and just improve, 1% each day.
Yeah.
You'll eventually get there. So I just really think like, yeah, just, and everyone's plan is different.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's plan is different. And for me, I know that it's already written by the man upstairs. So that kind of helps me with not comparing so much.
Yeah, I like that because I catch myself sometimes when you follow people on social media. I feel like we're all in such different seasons, which is what you're saying.
Yeah, yep.
And it's really easy to want to put your current season behind and look forward to the next season. And then you're never just content with where you're at, because I know when you're in a relation or when you're single, you see other people on social media and you're like, oh, they're in a happy relationship. I want out of this season of singleness, even though that's where you are meant to be.
Exactly.
Like, you need to be in that single season of singleness to prepare you for the next season. But you can't rush through this one. And then when you're in a relationship, you're looking to the people who are engaged and planning for a wedding. And then when you're in that season, people having kids, it's just like you'll never be content if you don't just get over that.
Absolutely. And be comfortable in your season. I always say, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, get comfortable in that season and really, take a second to like look around and like, do some deep thinking and like, okay, what are the lessons I need to learn in this season?
Yeah.
Because like you said, being single and then looking at, the next season of being in a happy relationship, there's certain lessons in that season of being single that you absolutely need to learn and
100%.
Work on yourself and all of that before you can jump in and be in a happy relationship. So
absolutely.
Yeah, this topic here, I mean, we could rattle on for days. It's a good one because so many people, they want to rush the process.
Yeah.
They want to rush things. And that's why I think you see so many failed relationships or failed businesses or, just failure in general.
Yeah.
Like there's a process to things, and getting comfortable where you're at, it may be a little uncomfortable, but being comfortable there and, really taking it all in and learning what you need to in that certain season, it's going to do wonders, and you're going to propel yourself right into the next season and taking on all the blessings and everything that's to come for you.
And I do think a lot of that, you're right, almost 98% of the comparison in my own life has come from social media, because what else would you, I mean, that's the only way you see into other people's lives to compare to. Yeah. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And my thing with that is be careful what you follow. Be careful what you watch every day and listen to as well. But
No, expand on that. I like that.
So for me, I don't follow anyone I don't know. And I don't follow any, I don't follow famous people minus Tom Brady, the GOAT. She hears
The
Tom
love
Brady.
of his life.
She hears Tom Brady's name probably once a day. But
more than that.
yeah, no, I just don't follow because I think that I really did struggle at one point in my life with comparing myself to others on social media. So I learned, I just don't follow it. I don't want to look at it. So I don't really know too much.
Yeah, no, I think that it has a lot to do, like your diet has more to do with what you're taking in than just the food that you're taking in.
Yeah,
And I
there you
think
go.
that can go for a lot of things. Like I tell you, I don't like to watch shows that stress me out just because I take on that stress into my real life, which is so strange, but like the same.
Like, you're like watching like an action movie or like something like you're
and
like
I go into stress.
run.
Yeah.
Hey, don't go in there. Don't
I
go in
hate
there.
it. I hate that feeling.
You're like taking it in like you're right there.
Like I need to watch shows that give like Love is Blind. That doesn't stress me out.
Yeah.
I have to watch shows that just give me like minimal stress, but same goes for, it seems so goofy, but like same goes for like the social media platforms that I follow. Like I actually don't follow that much fitness stuff and I kind of like watching YouTube vlogs and stuff that have nothing to do with fitness and more like fashion and lifestyle and beauty that doesn't really make me feel like I'm comparing at all. Like when it comes to fitness, I'm like, that's my realm. That's where I do what I do for a living as a coach. But like when I'm doing that, I don't want to compare what I'm eating and what I'm, I don't know. And so what you're taking in, the shows you're watching, the YouTube videos you're watching, the accounts you're following, at the end of the day, do you feel drained by them? That's probably a good sign that you need to detox that a little bit.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're gaining motivation from these things or, it's positively, helping you, then by all means,
right, absolutely.
watch it, listen to it. But the things that bring you down and make you get into your head and, ultimately put you in that negative thought process for the rest of the day, get rid of those things.
Yep.
Get rid of those things. That's for anything people do. I mean,
oh, absolutely.
That's for everything in your life. So I'm very big on just positivity. Everything positive. Don't bring that negative mess around me.
Yeah.
You will be gone. You'll be a goner.
Well, and this is something that I definitely need to work on. And we've talked about a little bit before, is like I probably should wait a little longer in the morning before I get on social media, and that's hard for me because a lot of what I do is like morning routines and I post like so early in the morning, but I think I've done a little bit better the last couple weeks not scrolling first thing, and like when I wake up, maybe even listen to a podcast that I know isn't gonna put me in a weird funk. But like when you're scrolling first thing, it's really easy for something to throw you off in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, and you not even notice it.
Right.
Not even notice it. I think too, obviously I've seen a lot of it, but it's hard, the editing and, capturing the right stuff. And
yeah.
So doing that early in the morning and not being able to get it done correctly like you want, I feel like there's just a recipe to kind of, set your mood negatively for, the next couple hours, or because you're good. You snap out of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think, possibly waking up maybe a little earlier and just having, that 30 minutes to where you're just
no
phone. And then, okay, now I can, record all my stuff. And
that's a good idea, actually. Almost have like a morning routine before my morning routine.
Well, because you get up, you bathroom, wash your face, brush your teeth, blah blah blah, all that girly stuff. But wait, that sounded. I get up and I brush my teeth as well. I'm over here making it sound like I don't brush my. No, I brush my teeth.
Okay, I'm crying.
But all right. Anyways, what I'm getting at is. Get up and do that without your phone.
Right.
Leave your phone out, charging on the nightstand, whatever. Get all that done in the bathroom and then come out and voila.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Get started.
So when you hear my alarm go off at 4:30 a.m., I'm just kidding. But really, are you rethinking your tip? But really though, when I first started doing like these morning routines, I don't do them every morning now. I do them pretty much every morning though. I do them a lot.
Yeah.
I used to do them every single morning, a TikTok every single morning, and so I stopped liking. And they really are. I mean, you see it when I have a morning routine that I don't record. It's the same as what I record. So it's like that's my morning routine regardless.
Right.
But it doubles the length of it, and I'm also not able to necessarily like enjoy my morning routine as much because I'm recording it and paying attention to filming it and stuff. And like I started getting to the point where now I edit all of that when I'm on the treadmill. So I walk and I edit it, and it actually makes the treadmill go by way quicker. So I like doing that. But you're right, it's very time consuming, and it's time consuming to edit it. And that's why I kind of stopped doing it for a while, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm showing the world this morning routine, but it's literally like now my morning routines just have my phone in my face. So yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Start waking up a little bit earlier.
Yep. Just don't wake me up.
I can jump out of bed like it's nothing, no matter what time, though.
Yeah, I know.
I don't mind it. I'm a morning person through and through.
He's like, oh, 2 hours of sleep. It's 3:30 a.m. Good morning.
I'm up. Good morning. Smile on my face. I know I'm the worst type of person. I think that social media also, this is a good topic to talk about. Social media makes you think that, like, do you think that people are either a morning person or a night person and they don't need to like force themselves into the other? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's impossible because I have friends that are night owls and they've tried to become morning people, but they absolutely can't.
And I think social media almost makes you see, I will like through and through say being a morning person is the best thing in the world, but I think social media almost says like you need to be a morning person to be successful. To be up. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily think that's true. Like, I think there are a lot of people, like, if you wake up at 10 and you do a morning routine, it doesn't have to be at 5 a.m. Like, if you do it at 10 a.m. and it starts your day off right, I think that it's just a matter of figuring out what works for you and when your productivity is. But social media is like, if you don't wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, well, because I think
you're behind.
I don't think waking up at 5 a.m. it's not the norm.
Right.
So I think people think like, okay, for this to look good, even though they're not a morning person, and this is probably the only 5 a.m. morning they're going to wake up just to film it. But I think that they think, this has to be done at 5 a.m. where it's not going to look cool. Basically for the approval of others.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, yes, I mean for creators, but also just in general. Like you just hear it in podcasts and you hear it in so many things where people will say like, if you wake up this amount earlier, you're going to have this many more days in your year and you're going to have this much more time to be productive. And like, when I post my social media stuff, like I never want people to feel bad about themselves because they would wake up at 5 a.m. and then they'd be tired by 10. But like personally, I prefer to wind down at 7 p.m. Like I literally am winding down early because I know that I'm like my brain is junk by 7. And that's just my productivity. It lies right in the middle of the day after I have my workout and everything. But I think that if you have a morning routine that's solid, and we can have a whole nother podcast on morning routines. I'm just saying like, I think that social media does make you feel like you're not doing enough if you're not a morning person. Right.
Well, I think it's all based off of what time you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because, the average human, it's they say 8 hours, but I think it's about on average of 6 hours of sleep. So, if you're a night person and, you do have the ability to, work from home or not have to clock in at a certain hour, then by all means, stay up. If you're more productive at night, do what's best for you. Stay up until 1 a.m., but be productive and get your stuff done within those hours. If you work better there. And then, go ahead and sleep until 9 or 10, whatever's best for you.
Yeah.
But, no, I do think that there are some people that do better in the morning. Like, ourselves. We do better in the morning. But then, like you said, by 7, 8 o'clock, it's time to wind down and go to bed. So
right.
that's
Pause.
my
What's the
take on
time
it.
say?
I think 43. I can't really see it too well.
Okay, will you check just so that we don't go way too over?
40.
Okay, let's keep talking. Okay, and what?
How long do you want to go?
Probably 50.
Okay.
And then another topic that I mean, we digress a little bit talking about morning routines and stuff, but I do think that goes back to comparison.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to talk, our last little chunk of time, we should talk about how it's been being in a relationship with someone with social media, because that's something that we talked about early on.
Yeah.
And I feel like people think that we just like started posting the day we met and we were like, yeah, show the world him.
Right.
But like realistically, like we had these chats and I was like, well, don't prepare to be on my social media. I don't want anyone on my social media. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's talk about that.
So I'll go first. For me, I always thought negative. I didn't think I could be somebody that did social media. And that's because, just from past relationships and people, it just like they were more so doing social media for like the negative reasons.
Okay.
So I think there's a fine line between, what your social media is about and what you're doing it for. But, after having those talks with you and self-talks with myself, I realized that, you weren't doing it for the male attention.
Yeah.
You like you're not doing it for male attention whatsoever.
I think I have a solid 3 male followers.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
Right.
and a lot of people might think that's me being insecure, but no, I don't want my partner posting for male likes, trying to impress another male. I'm good on that. So that's just like, I had that self-talk with myself. We had many talks, and that's just where I'm at with that. But yeah, we did do a bunch of soft launches, and
I know, it was
we
kind of fun.
prepped all of our followers. It was pretty cool.
We did. And what I noticed, that people notice everything. Like people literally.
Yeah, leg hair.
I know. And so I cut my finger open one day on a tuna can, and Jay this was before he was on my social media, and he took me to CVS to get a bunch of stuff for my cut. I thought I was gonna have to have my finger chopped off, but regardless, we just had to take a trip to CVS, and I posted something like with all of the stuff for my like cut and whatnot, and someone noticed that I was in my passenger seat of my car, and then that there was leg hair driving, and they were like, is this your dad, or are you dating someone? It's not my dad. And so I don't know, people just notice everything, but that was kind of a fun little time where we were doing like
it was like,
just make people guess
it was like, what's gonna be the next one?
When we were at the track, so we went and ran at the track one day, and I posted like the picture of the track, and you could see Jay like in the distance.
My back.
Someone
back
said
looked huge.
But like it didn't look like we were together there. Like you weren't near me at all whatsoever, and like you could have just been like an innocent bystander just running at the track. People were like, "Oh, this must be the guy with the leg hair from the cut," and I'm like, "Y'all are nuts." I love it though.
They're smart. They put 2 and
FBIs.
2 together, looking at every inch of every picture. It was good.
Yeah. And then once we started posting, I started saying to you, like, if there's ever a time that you need out of this social media world, because I know it's a lot, and I said that quite a few times right in there in the beginning. I was like, this is my job. It doesn't need to be what you do. Like you don't need to join in on this.
Like if it was negative, you don't want it to bleed on me
or a relationship.
Or a relationship, absolutely. Which no, I really appreciate, and it's fine. At first it was kind of like I used to look into every single comment.
Right.
Now it's just like it's pretty normal now. I'm used to it now, but it's good. Love social media. Kind of, I love what you can do on it. Love how I can spread, positivity.
Yeah.
And just lets people know that, hey, there are people out there that, are rooting for you.
Yeah.
Just like, the last one, I've had people reach out to me personally about, them starting a routine. Yeah. And just how much better they're doing in the results, and how their significant others are like complimenting them, like, hey, you're back to yourself.
Oh.
And it's just so like, honestly, it's just so nice to hear, and
Yeah.
so I tell everyone, I'm so proud of you for starting.
Yeah.
And now it is the hard, just stay consistent with it.
Yeah.
So
I think you're so right though. Like it is so wild to see how far your positivity can spread in general, and I think people overlook that, and like your voice can be heard from, I mean, people in different countries, and
exactly.
like, what do you want the world to hear from you? And I think that's a big thing to question when you do start a social media, because there's so many people who ask me like, how do I start a social media, or like, how do I grow my social media platform? And my response is like, go for it, do it by all means. I think it's amazing, but like, what do you want the world to hear?
Exactly.
Because it's powerful.
Yeah, and you've got to have, good intentions behind it.
Yeah.
I think so. Because for me, I mean, a lot of the times you can see right through it. If somebody's just trying to, get a little following overnight yeah. But, yeah.
I'm with you. I think
I
that's everything,
yeah,
right?
I think that's everything. Down watching football.
Yeah, Jay's like,
and
all right, I've got this much time, 15 minutes before the game starts.
Yeah.
Jay is ready to go watch some football and have a
Sorry,
bird.
y'all, if I've been a little jittery, but it's a good game on. Some good football.
What is it, Tennessee
and Georgia.
Yeah. Are you proud of me that I even know
I
that?
am. Good job. Who are you guys playing today?
LSU. I do know that.
Hey.
Alabama versus LSU. I will probably not be watching,
Let me
but
hear it.
go Roll Tide.
Yeah.
Roll Tide. Yeah.
Roll
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching or listening today. And this is the Refined Podcast. And you can follow us on our other social medias. We also post way more frequently on our other social media platforms, which we'll have in the description and everything. But regardless, thanks so much for watching.
Kind of want to shout my... Yeah, follow me at Jason_K.
And he's soon to be J King Fit.
Oh dang! See, I already forgot about that.
Yeah,
you gotta
soon.
Remind me.
Go make your fitness profile right after this.
Say less. Start posting.
Say less.
Start posting what, like, probably weekly workouts.
There you go. Daily. I'll follow. I'll give you the follow.
All right, baby. All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. We
will
talk to you guys next time, and thanks so much for watching.
Peace.
Or listening.